Welcome to New Season Academy, where we go beyond the textbook to uncover the stories, mysteries, and surprising moments that shaped our world. Let's step back in time. When you think of the American Revolution, you probably picture soldiers, muskets, and famous battles. But what if I told you that after fighting had already begun, the American colonists made one last desperate attempt to avoid war? They didn't ask for independence. They didn't demand a new country. Instead, they wrote a respectful letter to the King of Great Britain, hoping he would stop the fighting before it was too late. It became known as the Olive Branch Petition, and on July 6, 1775, the Continental Congress approved it. Unfortunately, the king never gave it a chance. Just a few months earlier, in April 1775, fighting had erupted at Lexington and Concord. The first shots of the Revolutionary War had already been fired. Militia from across the colonies had surrounded British forces in Boston. The situation was becoming more dangerous by the day. But despite the fighting, many colonists still considered themselves loyal British subjects. They weren't asking for independence. They simply wanted their rights restored. Many believed King George III had been misled by Parliament and that if he understood what was happening, he would help solve the conflict peacefully. So delegates meeting in Philadelphia during the Second Continental Congress decided to make one final appeal. They drafted a respectful letter asking the king to help restore peace between Great Britain and the colonies. Because an olive branch has long been a symbol of peace, the letter became known as the Olive Branch Petition. Not everyone agreed that this was a good idea. Some delegates believed the colonies had already gone too far to turn back. Others insisted that peace should be given one final chance. In the end, Congress voted to send the petition across the Atlantic. It would take weeks for the ship to reach England. While the letter was crossing the ocean, the war continued. George Washington had just been chosen to lead the Continental Army. More soldiers joined both sides. Every day, peace became less likely. When the petition finally reached King George III, he refused to accept its message. Instead, he declared that the colonies were already in open rebellion. Rather than negotiating, Britain prepared to send even more soldiers to America. For many colonists, this was the moment that they realized reconciliation might be impossible. If the king would not even consider their request, perhaps independence was the only path left. Less than a year later, that same Congress would approve the Declaration of Independence. The Olive Branch Petition reminds us that history is rarely simple. The American Revolution wasn't something everyone wanted from the beginning. Many colonists had hoped that they would remain part of the British Empire while protecting the rights they believed belonged to them. Only after repeated failures to find peace did many begin to support complete independence. Sometimes history isn't shaped by only battles. Sometimes it's shaped by the opportunities that were missed. On July 6, 1775, the Continental Congress made one final attempt to avoid war that would change the world. The Olive Branch Petition was the colonists' last plea for peace. It failed. But its failure helped set the colonies on a path toward independence. Sometimes the most important moments in history aren't the wars themselves. They are the final chances to prevent them. Here's something to think about. If King George III had accepted the Olive Branch Petition, would the United States even exist today? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more fascinating moments from history. And remember, history isn't just about the dates, it's about the stories that changed the world. Until next time, keep asking questions, because history always has another story to tell.